Raizin the Roof, presented by the Central Indiana Realtist Association, a local chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Our mission is to build wealth through home ownership by enhancing economic development. We accomplish this goal by informing, advocating, and educating in the communities we serve. And now, Raizin the Roof.
Welcome and thank you for joining us as we're raising the roof. These programs are designed to help show you how to build generational wealth through home ownership. I am your host, Dolores Kennedy, along with my co-host,
Priscilla Russell, your agent with Hustle.
And we're going to talk about the 5 pillars of NARAB, which we are a local chapter. CIRA is a local chapter and of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And we're going to talk about the 5 pillars of NARAB and what we stand for. And of course, as you know, our mantra is serving the unserved and underserved. That's why we're here. That's why we have this program, because we want to build generational wealth in our neighborhoods. We will be right back with a spirited conversation, I'm sure, Ms. Priscilla. We will be right back as we're raising the roof. Good morning and welcome back as we're raising the roof. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 pillars of NARAB, Ms. Priscilla.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about things that make NARAB and CIRA work. The 5 strategic priorities of NARAB is faith-based and civic engagement, women initiatives, women investing in real estate, diversity and inclusion, multi-generational wealth, and government relation and advocacy. And we may not be able to hit all of those things, but we're going to hit the ones that we can today. And maybe next week we'll have to follow up with it. But what we want to do is, one of the things is the faith-based community. And what we have been doing here in Indianapolis, we have been building our relationship with the faith-based community so that we can take our workshops, our home buyer workshops, into different churches, different community centers, so that people can come and we can teach them the information about building generational wealth, how they go about purchasing a home. We have a workshop, and we'll talk about that real quick, Ms. Priscilla.
Yeah.
We have a workshop that we do monthly, and this workshop is the 3rd Wednesday of each month, and it's held at the Faye Picard Glick Center. We have a full mantra of the teaching of purchasing a home. We go from the time that you start thinking about a home until the time you get the keys. Everything in between, we're there because we want you to know what it takes. We have how do you build a budget? How do you manage your money? We have all of these tools that CIRA is giving to the community. It's strictly education. There's no selling whatsoever when we're doing this program. So we want you to remember that the 3rd Wednesday of each month at the Faye Picard Glick Center, we're there from 6 to 8 p.m. And not only that, you can get a down payment assistance certification with taking this class. What do you think about that?
You just show up after work. You don't even have to worry about your kids. We got somebody there that's going to take care of your children and even feed them. So there's just no excuse, because one of the things that the National Association of Real Estate Brokers really, one of the pillars is they started with democracy in housing. It was one of the things that really brought this group together in the first place. And we had our 75th anniversary this year. And Central Indiana Realtist Association, we are now in our 10th year of existence here locally in Indianapolis. So one of the things that we really want to make sure that you understand is that we are really looking for democracy in housing and also and ways to build generational wealth. And there's all kinds of ways you can do it, but one of the ways that we have found with people owning homes, but they first have to learn how to use their credit and things of that nature that allow you to get a home. Because some of the challenges that we have with the minority community sometimes is just understanding that you just have to make a choice between shoes sometimes and a home sometimes. So the things that you have to do, but we want to give you that basic information. That's why we do this show. CIRA supports it all the way. We have fair housing that helps us and gives us information on what's going on in the neighborhood. And one of the things we wanted to talk about was a faith-based engagement. And from the beginning, I think that the churches have been involved. Some people don't want to talk about the Lord, but I'm telling you, the faith, 75% of the minority community, they are generated towards a faith-based community. And not only that, with the civic organizations that we're a part of. So there's many things that we can do as we take on this job of just teaching what we need to do in order to have generational wealth.
And not only purchasing a home, we want to make sure that once you get that house, you keep it. We have all kinds of resources to give you so that you know what you can do if something comes up. You know, if the roof is leaking versus paying your mortgage payment. We have all of these scenarios that we have and we go over as we're going over these classes, teaching these classes, so that because we want you to know. We have one of our instructors that when she talked about when she was budgeting to buy her home, and she talked about they would go to the movies and they would do this and they would do all of these kind of things. She said they started buying popcorn at home and started doing the movies at home. And she said she was amazed at the amount of money that she could save. And it's just little things like that you get out of these classes that can help you in making some decisions so that you won't have to be paying rent, somebody else's mortgage payment. You'll be paying your own mortgage payment. And that's what we're about, is building generational wealth through home ownership. We want you to own your own home. We don't want you to, and I know there may be a lot of obstacles out here, like the interest rates are going up and there's a limited amount of inventory out there, but we want you to get in line. Start getting your finances in order, because it's not like just waking up one morning and saying, I'm going to buy a house. There's preparation. There's preparation. You know, you've got to start saving, and you've got to start making sacrifices for things that maybe you've done at one time, but you may have to change your way of thinking. There are things that we have to do. And one of our most talked about mantras is house before the car. We want you to buy a house before you go out there and buy that car that's going to cost you buku money. We want you to build your wealth, because when you pull off the parking lot of the lot,
goes down.
Your value is going down. But we had a class one time where we were talking to people about after they even pay their first house payment, they've got equity. It may be this much, but when you buy a house, when you buy a car, you have this much. You have nothing. So what we're trying to do is to let people know what they need to do first.
Right now, the interest rates have gone up a little bit in this year. So so what? I mean, when I bought my first house, it was 7.5%, and that was 100 years ago, seems like. But my first house, and then one time you kept trading your house, but I always had equity. I bought that first house, and I never made another down payment because the house that I bought, when I sold it, it made the down payment on the next house, and then I sold it, and it made the down payment on the next house. So this is what we want to educate people, that purchasing a home is a great way to build your generational wealth that way. And you have something for your children, you have something to show them. And the other thing that a lot of times we want to make sure that clients understand, even when you buy your home, there's something called a home warranty. We can even, if you've got the right agent is working in your favor, then we're going to make sure you've got a warranty. So that first year, if anything major happens to your home, then you've got a basic price that you're going to be paying, and then you're not going to have to worry. But what we also say is, what about when we talk about putting that money aside?
That's right. Because what we want to do is to be sure, because things happen. Things happen. I had a client that her father had told her, you never want to purchase a home because when if the plumbing goes wrong, you can call somebody to come and to take care of that. But you can do that yourself, because what you need to do is to put funds to the side, because you may not be able to go on a trip once a month. You may not be able to buy a new pair of shoes every month. You may have to put those funds away so that you can be able to, in case something happens, that emergency fund.
Right.
So that you will be able to take care of those things that might happen. And as Ms. Priscilla said, that home warranty is going to help you a whole bunch. You want to make sure that, and your agent should talk to you about a home warranty.
Oh, yes.
In having that. But you want to be sure, because when you have that mindset, I'm one of these people, I say, if you know better, you'll do better.
Yes, right.
Okay? And I think if you start thinking along the lines that this is going to be mine, and it's not going to belong to somebody else, I think you start thinking, you have a different mindset, I do believe.
Oh, yeah, like the guys who out there cleaning on their cars because that's their car. Then all of a sudden it's your home, so then you want to keep it up a little bit better.
Exactly.
But so that's one of the things that CIRA, the Central Indiana Realtors Association, really promotes as a part of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And the second thing that I was thinking about is women investing in real estate. So that's another mantra, as Ms. Dolores calls it, that minority women, we are looking at purchasing homes and investing and being investors, and we're on that way. We're moving that direction. So we have a whole section that we can really learn from. That the NAREB is providing the different kinds of training and the information that we need, so that we can be investors if we pay attention to what's going on. So that's one of the reasons why you might even want to make sure that you've got an real estate agent that is aware of investing and how to build your wealth. In addition to owning, you may be able to go out and buy some other things and own that too. So
How about that? And that's what we're about, is getting building our wealth in our communities. That's what we're about. And we're going to be right back and talk more about the pillars of NAREB and things that we need to do and things that we need to take into account for in order for us to build wealth through homeownership. We will be right back with Raising the Roof with Ms. Priscilla Russell.
Hi, I'm Shelley Specchio, CEO of Mybor Realtor Association. We support the mission of the Central Indiana Realtist Association to improve the quality of life of the underserved and enhance the economic development of the community. At Mybor, our leadership in economic and community development efforts directly impact the strength of our communities and promote the importance of homeownership for all. Learn more about how realtors strengthen our communities by visiting mybor.com.
Hi,
Hi, my name is Priscilla Russell, your agent with Hustle with United Real Estate. I have over 30 years experience helping buyers and sellers to build wealth through real estate. Call me at 317-872-SELL.
And we're back with Raising the Roof. We're talking about NARAB's initiatives, the 5 pillars of initiatives. And one thing that Ms. Priscilla was talking about was why are women in real estate? And this was focusing on not only women purchasing real estate, because like we have a lot of single women or single mothers that are wanting to purchase home, but it's also for the real estate professional.
Right.
Giving them the tools in order to move forward, not only in sales, in development, because we're finding women developers that's
right.
going out there and developing homes, and yay, women. We want them to go out there and to be able to get into these new fields, or these fields that once people would only think that these were a field for men.
Correct.
And that's not so.
No, that's not so. And one of the things that I really enjoy with a National Association of Real Estate Brokers, they realize that we're all diverse. It's such a diverse group, and that we've got to teach things that are going to help increase our net worth and help increase what we'll need to have in the future. So that's one of the things that CIRA, that we're a member of, and NARAB, that's one of the things they want to make sure that we get the training, and that the women get the training that maybe wasn't available to them several years ago, but now we want to make sure you know where the money is, if we're able to get any money to invest and those kinds of things. So it's a really, that mantra is excellent. So I really enjoy the Women in Real Estate. And we can listen to it on, now everything is online, so it's not anything that you are not, that is not accessible to you.
And you know, one of the other things is the 2,000,005 is one of the things that we have, that NARAB has promoted. And there's 2 million Black homeowners in 5 years. And what we're trying to do is to make sure that we get that done. We want to work hard at getting that done, and making sure that we give all the tools to people, women and men, you know,
Right.
that have so that they can have that opportunity for home ownership. We want to be sure that you can get on the train with all of us, you know. And what CIRA is about, Central Indiana Realtors Association, is building wealth through home ownership and serving the unserved and underserved. We want to come into communities so that we can give you the information so that you know what to do, when to do it.
Yes.
And you know, and as I said earlier, you don't just get up one day and say, I'm gonna buy a house. You have to make preparations for that.
Right.
As with anything else, we have to make sure that we get ready for this. And so what we want to do in CIRA, in the NARAB, is to make sure that you have that information so you can move forward.
That's exactly right. And one of the other pillars is the diversity and inclusion.
That's right.
That we experience all the time here in Indianapolis in our CIRA group, because most of the members of our CIRA group, the local members, they are right along with the national. They're small business people that are running their own business. And if it's associated with real estate, it doesn't have to just be realtors in our group. It can be inspectors and appraisers, people who have information that can help us to make sure we get that generational wealth. And part of NARAB, they also provide training for us so that we will know exactly how we can go forward and how it relates to our communities, what's going on in the communities, so that we know exactly what we'll need to do in order to take our business to the next level, which is excellent for small businesses, because sometimes we don't get all the information that we need. But now that we have a group that's one of their main things, we can get that information from NARAB. And I went to that anniversary, the 75th anniversary this year, and the information that we received was just unbelievable.
Right, and this is what happens. We go to these conferences, and then when we come back, we're hyped. We're ready to give everybody this information because we want them to know what we know. We want them to understand that information is out there, and you're so full of this information that they give you, and we want to make sure that everybody gets it because we don't want anybody to fall through the cracks. And sometimes that's what happened. And but we have a group within our group which is called the Lenders Council. And what we do is to be sure that no one falls through the cracks in that if one of our lenders cannot get the loan done for them, if that person is in fact qualified for getting a house, not just pushing someone through. And that's another thing. We don't want anyone just to buy a house. We want you to be ready to purchase a home. That's and right. We want not anyone that, said, because years ago, there was people when we had a lot of adjustable rate mortgages, people could not, they could not qualify for a fixed rate. And we had people that would say, okay, we can get you through and we can get you this house that may be worth $200,000, but on an adjustable rate mortgage. But if they were getting a fixed mortgage, they may only be able to qualify for maybe $150,000. They were getting into these loans and they were losing their homes. That's what CIRA is about, educating. We want to make sure that you're not going to go out there and make those mistakes. You get in your home and you stay in your home until you're ready to sell and move on.
That's right. So, and the majority of our members, they all have some unique experiences that they bring to our group. That's why I'm really excited that it's just not realtors that are in there, because these people with the mortgages, a lot of these people, ladies and gentlemen, they've been in business over 20 years, have had all the training that is available, and they bring that information to our group. So we are able to talk to people about real time and real money and real things that are available. So that's one of the things for diversity and inclusion. And we can even help other small businesses get ready, because some people think they're going to go into business today, and then next, because I made $50,000 by the end of the year, I can afford this. Then these people will explain to them, you need 2 years of income tax and things like that people don't even talk to us about, that before you can even qualify for anything. So when we do that with CIRA and with NARAB, they have all the tools that are provided for us and for others that can get them to where they want to be on their goals, whether it's now or in the near future.
And then that's something I was going to say, because sometimes we get in that popcorn mentality where we want to do it right now. It may be, and we have people in our lender council that will tell them, you know what, you can't buy now, or you should not buy now. It may be 6 months down the road. Right. It could be a year down the road. I have had clients that it's taken them 2 years, and when they are told that it's going to take them 2 years to take care of this and take care of that, get rid of all of this, all of these kind of things, they're thinking, I don't want, you know what, I'll never be able to buy a home. But those 2 years or that year or 6 months, it comes around so fast, you're thinking, has it already been a year? But it gives you time to clean up those things so that you are actually ready. When it's time for you to purchase a home, you can purchase a home, and they will give you tools. We have some lenders that will say, okay, if you do this, 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 and this, they can give you an outline. If you do these things will help you to get ready in order to purchase a home. And then down the line, if you want to purchase a business or do something else, you're able to do those things. But you've done it in steps where you can do it the right way.
That's right, because you're going to have to understand, and that's what CIRA teaches in our meetings, that that everything doesn't come overnight. So with Sarah, I've learned a lot about just taking my time, because I'm one of those, I call it myself an ADD, you know, I want it done right now, that kind of a thing. But what I've learned is that with Sarah and with NARAB, they have the tools to teach you how to go forward with this. And if not, then who to refer you to. That's one of the great things about our lender council, as Dolores was talking about. With the lender council, I mean, there was 15 of them. So if one can't do the mortgage, then we have one person who is in charge of sending out the information. So within 15 mortgage persons or companies, somebody is more than likely able to do that loan. So we have to be really strong, and I really appreciate NARAB coming up with some of these ideas to pass them down to people at the lower, at the everyday level, that we can go ahead and get that off to our clients so they know exactly what's going on with their credit and how we can help them. So you need to look sometimes for a Sarah member or someone who can give you some information that you'll need to purchase a home.
That's right. And as we said, we're the Central Indiana Realtors Association, and what we are about is educating. And one of our hashtags is educate to elevate. What we want to do is give you the information so that you can move forward in building generational wealth, buying that new home, so that you and your family can have some place for yourself. We're going to be right back, Miss Priscilla, to wrap it up. But we've been talking about the pillars of Sarah, the 5 pillars of Sarah and NARAB. We will be right back. Hello, I'm Dolores Kennedy, broker owner of B&K Real Estate Services, where helping you buy or sell your home is what I do. Call me. You see the number. Call me.
On the first Wednesday of every month, realtors and real estate professionals are invited to our Sarah meeting, which is at 11:30. For information on attending the meeting, please go to our website at www.sarah.org for meeting information. Thank you.
Welcome back to Raising the Roof. I'm Priscilla Russell, and this is Dolores. And we are going to be talking about and wrapping up the point that we were talking about 5 pillars of National Association of Real Estate Brokers, NARAB, which we're a member of, as Sarah is a local member. And I tell you, we just don't have enough time to tell all the things that they do. We talked about faith-based, civic engagement, and what else was that?
WIRE, Women in Real Estate.
And diversity and inclusion for small businesses. So we did get through those. We'll have another show and we'll get through the rest of them. But we want to thank you for tuning in today, because we were at least able to tell you about Sarah and why we exist and the history of what's going on with NARAB and Sarah.
We thank you. Join us at the Faber-Card Glick Center, 2990 West 71st, third Wednesday of each month, 6 to 8 p.m. for a home buyers workshop. We'll see you next time.
Raizin the Roof.